Hi everybody, in today's Tuesday Talk, you'll see I'm in a different location. It is almost Christmas by the time you see this, and it just kind of felt fitting to be at my desk instead of at my kitchen table. This is where I normally work, and I've got snow falling today. It's magical. So today, I'm going to try to keep it not too long in respect of your time, because I know you are all so busy before Christmas. So thank you so much if you're watching. We're going to cover a question that I had from somebody. Actually, more than one person has asked this question about NSVs with high-fat carnivore, and I'm also going to make some announcements at the end or near the end. And I will just show a few meal examples for high-fat carnivore, as well as last week's Dr. Boz chart. So I'm going to just try to keep it compact today, and there's going to be links below for various things that are going to come up through this conversation. So let's go with my Dr. Boz chart. You'll see it up here at the top, and I just have my last week in there. And as you can see, I've been doing pretty good with the GKI, which is the column in red, and I'm trying to keep it below 3 for healing purposes. And it looks like I've been doing pretty good with that. What I did want to point out is that every Monday I've been doing a fat fast for the last 3 weeks, and my results for GKI, ketones, blood sugar always seem to be the best the morning after the fat fast. So, but I don't want to do it more than once a week. I'm happy with the way the other days look. I just like to see that, that it is possible to make these numbers move with different things that we can do. So, the other days, it's all pretty much, my ketones are staying in that 2 range, and Dr. Boz ratio is generally around 40, sometimes less. So I am happy with the way this is going. And if this is your first time tuning in and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to link my high-fat carnivore playlist. I have been doing this since November 1st, and if you watch my Tuesday Talks, starting early November, I'm walking through the whole progression of how I got from lousy GKI and Dr. Boz ratio to what I'm really happy with. So you'll be able to see that progression and the things I did. So speaking of that progression, some of you have been asking me about my NSVs. NSVs is non-scale victories. These are things that happen it's more than just the number on the scale. It's other things in your life that are improving, other aspects of your health. So I feel, now some of them I have no way to quantify it with any proof other than, my feelings or my what I'm observing. I feel like my skin is improving. I feel like it's getting softer. So, again, it could be my imagination, could be wishful thinking. I don't know. But I just wanted to mention it. Absolutely, one thing that I actually can measure it because I've been wearing my Fitbit to bed, and it tracks sleep, and I am getting a better sleep. So I am attributing the better sleep to the higher fat protocol, 80-20, 80% fat, 20% protein. Bedtime butter. Now that is a tip I got from Dr. Bright. She was interviewed a couple of times by Steak and Butter Gal, and those interviews are in my playlist. But she talked one day about cortisol levels going up around 2 in the morning, which just happened to be when I was waking up, and it's supposed to go up gently, But for some people it goes up a lot and then they wake up and they can't fall back asleep and they are tired but wired, and that just fit me to a T. That has not been happening. I do wake up to go to the bathroom, but I'm able to come right back and fall back asleep. I'm also having the strange experience. It's happened twice in the last week where I actually slept right through to about 4 a.m. and didn't wake up at 1:30 or 2 to go to the bathroom. So I see those things as an improvement. And the one last thing I want to mention that I'm experimenting with is those nighttime blue blocker glasses. And I bought a pair that fit over my prescription glasses. And so I'm wearing them as per their instructions about 2 hours before going to bed, and it's supposed to trigger your melatonin response. Or, you know, I don't know everything yet about that. I'm new to this. It's only been about 3 days, but I feel like that might be something that helps. And when I do get up in the night to use the bathroom, I have them right there. You're supposed to put them on so that your body, you don't feel like, oh no, it's bright out again. It's like you don't see all the blue lights and whatnot, or the bathroom light, and you think it's time. Your body thinks it's time to wake up. So I guess it's a way to trick your body. But again, we'll talk more about that later as I learn more. So the other NSV is my GKI numbers. If you recall, if you've been following me for a while, I started out with numbers up in the 12s, which basically means no ketosis, no healing, nothing going on there. It's like, you're living a normal life. So to have them drop that much, GKI is an indicator of healing, and some practitioners use that for dementia and Alzheimer's patients, cancer patients. The lower the number, the more healing is going on. And I did talk about this in last week's Tuesday talk. I went into some detail about GKI, and I had a chart and all that. I'm going to link that below. The other benefit is I am eating more calories without gaining weight. Now, my weight loss is extremely slow, and this I can quantify. I'm eating about 500 more calories per day than I was before on regular carnivore, regular ketovore, and I'm losing about a half a pound a week. It's super slow, but it's not gaining, and those half pounds add up. This week I did stay the same. It was the first week I've stayed the same in weeks. So, that's okay. I'm totally not worried about it. I am starting to look at TDEE, total daily energy expenditure. And after Christmas, when the new year hits, I'm going to continue to do high-fat carnivore, because next month is World Carnivore Month. So I feel like I want to continue on. But I'm going to start... My attention is going to turn to one other number that I can tweak and see what I can do with that. I am an experimenter. I know a lot of people leave me comments, oh, don't count calories, oh, don't count macros, oh, don't measure all these things. You don't have to do that. You just have to... Well, I like doing it, and I'm doing it for information. I like data. I like to, play around with this stuff. This is something I enjoy. Don't take my fun away from me. And I think other people can learn from it. I have learned a lot from it myself. And remember, these are my numbers. They affect me in this way. And so these tweaks and things are things that I can do. They may or may not have any relevance to you. And if they don't, that's fine. It's just information that maybe you can tuck away. And, if your weight loss, if what you're doing now works for you, fantastic. Don't change anything, keep going. But let's say 6 months down the road, you come to a screeching halt and you stay that way for months on end. Maybe you'll go, oh, I remember Anita when she tweaked this, that started to happen, and you can come back to it. You don't need to act on any of this now or ever. So it's just something that fascinates me, and I'm hoping it's helpful to someone else. So those, there is one more. It's kind of an NSV, but it's more like a benefit budget. Eating 80-20 is amazingly cheap. Like when I go over the meals, like I used to eat, like a ribeye steak or, like something big at each meal, like twice a day. And this is so much cheaper eating, like I've lowered my protein to adequate protein. It is not deficient, it is adequate. And I've upped my fat. Now, butter has gotten very expensive, but I'm also introducing more cheaper alternatives like tallow and lard and those sorts of things, which sometimes are free. Bacon grease is free. Lard is almost free. It's 99 cents a pound around here where I live. Beef fat is also so much cheaper than butter or steak or anything else like that. So I'll show you some typical meals in a moment. So some of the extremely cheap things that I'm eating now are sardines. Eggs, of course, are a cheap source of protein and fat. Pork fat, beef fat, tallow, suet, all those things are incredibly cheap. And it's really showing in my grocery budget. So kind of happy about that. So before we get to announcements and I wrap this up, I just also want to show you a few more typical meals. You'll see that up on the screen. And these are meals that I typically eat. These are some of my favorites. I'm always finding new favorites. I just love food. I'm always finding that's my new favorite thing. You'll hear me saying that a lot. My new favorite thing is beef fat trimmings. They are 93% fat. So I'm going to just start, I'm going to start in the left corner, work my way across, go down. So those are beef fat trimmings. They're about $1.99 a pound. I've heard of people getting them for free. Doesn't hurt to ask your butcher. Love those. Those are so good. Also, I can't seem to get enough of medium rare ground beef burgers with butter. This meal, as you see it there, is 82% fat. Love that. Creamy, what I'm calling creamy egg pudding. I'm going to link Steak and Butter Gal's egg pudding recipe down below. She uses half water, half eggs, or sometimes she uses broth, half and half. To make it high fat, I used half heavy cream, and that makes it 92% fat. This one here, I added some cinnamon to it. You could add some extract, like vanilla extract or maple or whatever. I did not add sweetener of any kind, but just those two things, which are optional. But to me, I guess when you've gone a while without, having any keto sweets, things like this start to taste sweet to you. To me, it tastes like the best cheesecake in the world. I just love that. Another thing that I've been having at least once a day is a butter coffee. Now, coffee is questionable for many people, so I also have tried this with hot water. So butter hot water, and I whip it up with my little Aero Latte frother. It's a butter or cream frother, and it works nicely with butter. And that's a delicious drink. 100% fat, of course, in that drink. So the next image that you see there is something that I discovered deep in my butcher's freezer, where there's all kinds of treasures. Go to a butcher shop. If you can find a butcher shop in your area, usually they have these freezer cases, and I've been finding so many interesting things in there. This is pork jowls. It is very similar to pork belly. Pork belly is 80-ish% fat. Pork jowls are 96% fat. They are more tender than pork belly. I love them. So I've been eating those a lot lately. And last here, this one is actually only 78% fat, but it is something I like and it's close enough. I would probably add, another tablespoon of butter to that, or have a hot water butter drink with it or something. But it is strip loin steak with 2 butter bites there that are like a tablespoon each of butter. And that's also very good. So those are some typical meals to give you some ideas of what you can do. So I want to get to the announcements before we sign out here. So right now I am working on a couple of videos that should be ready between Christmas and New Year's, because we are getting so close to Christmas. There's been all kinds of videos that I had in my mind that I wanted to do before Christmas. It's just not happening. I mean, time just rushes away. But these you might find useful in the new year, because it is Cronometer tutorials, 2 of them. One is just all about setting up and setting your macros and all that to get you started. And the other one is about, how to set up foods, custom foods, recipes, all that kind of stuff. I thought that would be useful because I get so many questions about Cronometer. And so I think a couple of videos like that, for those of you especially who are waiting until the new year to get started on something like this, you'll be able to get yourself all set up and be ready to go for the new year. It can be used for high-fat carnivore. It can be used for regular keto, low-carb, whatever plan you're following. So, so that's one announcement. The next announcement is for any of you who are going to KetoCon, I will see you there. I'm going to KetoCon. That is in April. It's in Texas, Austin, I believe. I am signed up. So, more details on that to come. Lastly, next week, which will be, next week is Christmas already. So what I'd like you to do if you're at the supermarket is to grab Woman's World magazine. You will see Dr. Barry, our favorite doctor, on the cover. They are doing some kind of an article about him, and I think it's, BBBE related, whatever. Just grab it, open it up, and see if there's anyone else you recognize in there. And that's all I'm going to say. So I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, because by the time you see this, it's going to be virtually a couple of days from Christmas, and you may or may not see another video from me before Christmas. I mean, the chances are kind of small, just because that time is rushing by now. I want to thank you for watching me all year long, supporting this channel, sharing the videos, anything that you're doing, just even watching is supporting it. Tells YouTube that you guys are happy, especially if you watch it all the way through. They love that. They promote the videos to other people. More people hear about this and watch. And I mean, I just appreciate it so much. So I'm really excited about 2023 and, being with you guys again. And I don't even know how to thank you for all your support. It's been an amazing year, and I want to see you guys in the next video. I'm really looking forward to it. So have a great Christmas, and look for those Cronometer videos. Look for the magazine with Dr. Barry's face on the cover, and we will see you on the next video, whatever that may be.